Before you can get into fun late game bossing, you first have to level your melee stats. Melee is made up of 3 skills: attack, strength, and defense. You can cycle between these via the combat options. Attack influences your accuracy. The higher your attack level, the more consistently you will roll successful hits. Furthermore, attack also allows you to equip better weapons. Every weapon has a stab, slash, and crush bonus, which affects your accuracy. Your opponents also have separate defense values for stab, slash, and crush as well. For example, Blood Moon is weak against slash, so you bring a good slash weapon such as Sulfur Blades into this encounter. Strength influences your max hit. The higher your strength level, the more damage you can deal in a single hit. Strength has a big impact on your XP per hour, as the experience is determined by the amount of damage you deal. Aside from your strength level, your max hit is also impacted by your overall strength bonus. You can increase your strength bonus by equipping weapons, certain capes, jewelry, offhands, and certain armor pieces. Finally, the higher your defense level is, the less likely an opponent is to roll a successful hit on you. Defense also allows you to equip better armor. But when training melee, we often fight monsters with low offensive and defensive stats. This means we don't really need the accuracy from attack or the protection from defense. For example, the Gemstone crab, a super popular training method, has 1 attack, 1 strength, and 1 defense. This means we will almost always hit the crab regardless of our attack level. For example, if I open up the DPS calculator and give myself 60 attack and strength and equip a dragon sword, I am already 96.5% accurate on the Gemstone crab with a max hit of 13. If I change this to 99 attack, I only gain 1.2% accuracy. But if I change my strength to 99, my max hit increases to 21. This almost doubles my DPS. So training your strength should be prioritized first, then attack, and finally defense. So those are the basics. Let's jump into combat training. On a fresh account, you could hop into combat training straight out of Tutorial Island. The chickens in Lumbridge are good to get started as they have -42 defense against all combat styles. But if you want to be efficient, you can skip the early levels by doing quests instead. For example, Waterfall quest alone will take you from 1 through 30 in both attack and strength, and this quest only takes 10 minutes to complete. Waterfall has no requirements, but you do have to walk past Moss Guardians that can hit up to 14. While it's totally doable to do this as your first quest on a level 3 account with 10 hit points, it is better to complete Witch's House first, which will bump your hit points to level 24, making the subsequent quests a bit easier. Witch's House is a short quest with 4 bosses that you can safe spot with magic even on a level 3 account. Just bring a Staff of Air so you can auto-cast Wind Strike. For the first 2 bosses, we stand in the northeastern corner and then right-click to walk under them. Once they take over your spot in the corner, click 1 tile away and now they can no longer hit you. For the last 2 bosses, you can simply stand over here in the south and they will not be able to touch you. After Witch's House and Waterfall, you can do Tree Gnome Village for an additional 11,450 attack XP. This quest has another boss fight that can also be safe spotted. As long as you stay behind this tree, the boss will not be able to reach you. So attack him to pull him towards you, move back behind the tree, and repeat. After that, we can do the Grand Tree for 18,400 attack XP. This quest requires 25 agility, which can be boosted from 20 with a Summer Pie. There's another boss fight that can be safe spotted. Just run past the Black Demon and attack him with magic. Once that's completed, you can do Fight Arena for 12,750 attack XP. This is another short quest with a couple of boss fights. But as usual, all of these can be safe spotted. Just stand behind the skeleton and kill them with magic. Finally, you can also complete Death Plateau for 3,000 attack XP and the ability to wear climbing boots. And a super short quest, Vampire Slayer, for 4,825 attack XP. Optionally, you can also complete Merlin's Crystal, followed by the Holy Grail to receive 15,300 defense and 11,000 prayer XP. The latter quest has a boss that can be defeated by flinching. Just attack the boss, step back, attack him again, and repeat. Doing all of these quests will bump you to level 45 attack, 30 strength, 31 defense, and 28 prayer. You of course don't have to do all of these, but it is worth considering as these are prerequisites to important quests that you'll want to complete at some point anyway. If you don't feel like questing, I would recommend still doing Waterfall to skip levels 1 through 30 in attack and strength, as this only takes 10 minutes, whereas I just spent 25 minutes hitting chickens to get to level 10. By the way, I have a complete walkthrough of every quest I just mentioned on my channel. So if you want to follow along with me as I go about these quests on a level 3 account, you can find the link to that video in the description. Now that we have some base stats, it's time to equip some gear and find ourselves something to hit. You'll want to equip an Amulet of Strength, which gives plus 10 strength bonus, a Combat Bracelet, which gives plus 6 strength bonus, and some climbing boots for plus 2 strength bonus. Keep in mind, you can only wear these if you have completed Death Plateau. Then for your weapons, equip the best scimitar that your attack level allows. The most popular training method for the early levels is the Gemstone Crab. This quote-unquote boss has infinite hit points and can be attacked by anyone in the same world as you. His hit point pool is basically a 10-minute AFK timer. Once this runs out, the crab will despawn and move to one of 3 locations. To find him again, you simply go through the tunnel to be taken directly to him. The gem crab is located in Valamor, which requires the quest Children of the Sun. This is a 5-minute quest with no requirements. After the quest, you can walk to the gem crab. First, take the Quetzal bird outside of East Farok to get to Civitas Illa Fortis. Then walk northwest towards Quetzalcoatl Gorge, and here you can follow the mountain guide to Auburn Valley. From here, walk south until you run into a Chilka where you can fast travel to Kastori. Then simply run a little north to reach one of the gemstone spawn points. If he's not there, enter the tunnel to find him. But if you want faster transportation, you can unlock the Quetzal network by completing Twilight's Promise. After this quest, you can simply take any Quetzal bird to Tal Teklan and walk north to the Gemstone Crab. The best training method for the early levels is Brutus, the brand new free-to-play boss found in the Lumbridge cow pen. He is first encountered during the quest Ides of Milk and can afterwards be used as a training method. This boss has a 100% XP bonus, so you will get better XP rates than you would at the Gemstone Crab. But it's not AFK, as you have to dodge his movement mechanics or you will take big damage. When the boss snorts, you need to step 1 tile back, and when he growls, he will start charging forward and you need to move out of his way. There is a 20-second respawn timer, but you can reduce this by ringing the cowbell amulet after he dies. If you don't have the cowbell amulet, you can receive it from Gilly after completing the quest, and you can charge this with air runes to use it as a teleport to the cow pen. This boss also drops the Muleta, which is an offhand that will boost your accuracy and has a +1 strength bonus. This is only a 1 in 30 drop, so it is worth picking up as you'll get the best early game XP rates for doing so, and who knows, maybe you'll be rewarded with your very first pet. Depending on your playstyle, you may prefer this active training method over AFKing the gem crab, or you can alternate between the two. Just teleport with your cowbell amulet whenever you feel like taking on Brutus. Furthermore, you'll be receiving 40 prayer XP from each kill after bearing his bones, which will help you get through your early prayer levels, especially for free-to-play players. He also drops raw steak and logs, so if you bring a tinderbox, you could make your own fire and cook this steak and then use it as food to reduce your banking trips. Whether you're doing the crab or Brutus, you'll be upgrading your weapon as you gain attack levels. At level 55, you can swap your scimitar for sulfur blades or glacial Tomotli. Then at level 60, you can equip a dragon sword or a dragon scimitar if you happen to have completed Monkey Madness. Once you have 60 attack and 70 strength, you should head over to the Warriors Guild to grind out your defenders. Defenders are offhands that you wear in your shield slot and they boost your accuracy and strength bonus. They are dropped in order from bronze to dragon, so you first have to obtain the bronze defender, then you can upgrade to iron, and so on. You will need 40 defense to equip the rune defender and 60 defense to equip the dragon defender, so this is a good excuse to finally level your defense to level 60. On my tester account, I killed a total of 607 Cyclops to get to the Dragon Defender and leveled my defense from 31 to just 2000 experience away from level 60, so it came out almost perfectly. The whole thing took around 7 hours and I used up 3,340 Warrior Guild tokens in total. I have a complete guide on defenders on my channel, so go check that out once you've got the required stats to enter the Warriors Guild. At level 65, you can optionally upgrade your Dragon Sword for a Zombie Axe, a Sarachnis Cudgel, or a Bell's Folly. Then at 70, you can use a Whip for attack and defense training, and the Saradomin Sword is a good budget weapon for strength training. You could continue upgrading your weapon from here on out, but further upgrades will get really expensive. If your goal is to keep fighting low defense monsters, you'll be better off saving up for a training set such as Obsidian or Blood Moon. Full Obsidian costs around 5 mil and requires 60 attack and 60 defense to equip. It consists of all 3 armor pieces, plus the Berserker necklace and the Obsidian sword. The sword will get a 20% damage boost from the Berserker necklace and a 10% strength and attack boost from the Obsidian armor. So when you wear the full set, you will shred through low defense monsters such as the Gemstone crab. This set is so good, it will out DPS full bandos with the Osmunten's Fang. The current best in slot training set is full Blood Moon. This set costs 24 mil and requires 70 attack, 75 strength, and 50 defense to equip. It consists of all 3 armor pieces plus the Jewel Macoweedles. Stat-wise, this armor has the same strength bonus as full bandos, and the set effect, which has a chance to trigger on each successful hit, allows you to attack 1 tick earlier. But Blood Moon is expensive, and it's degradable. Depending on your smithing level, the operating cost will be between 50 to 100k per hour. If you're really broke, a decent budget setup is to wear Rune or Obsidian legs, a fighter torso from the Barbarian Assault minigame, and a Berserker helm, which you can equip after completing the Fremenic Trials quest. If you happen to have 60 ranged, you can equip a mixed height cape for +1 strength and a mixed height body for +2 strength. Another upgrade you may want to consider at this point is obtaining a fire cape. This cape will provide a nice +4 strength bonus, but you do have to survive your way through the fight caves and beat the final boss, Talk Jat, before you can claim this reward. You can also look into making your way through the Recipe for Disaster questline. This questline is made up of 8 subquests, and as you progress through these quests, you'll be able to purchase gloves that are an upgrade to your combat bracelet. Once you beat the final boss and complete the questline, you can upgrade to Barrow gloves, which give a massive +12 strength bonus. Aside from untradables, there are also some items you can purchase to increase your strength bonus. For starters, you should upgrade to Dragon Boots once you get to 60 defense. This will give you +4 strength bonus. Additionally, the Berserker ring can boost your strength by +4, but this is expensive. And you can even imbue this ring at the Nightmare Zone to double the strength bonus to +8. Once you have 60+ combat stats, you have to decide whether you continue training at the Gem Crab or opt for more efficient or faster methods. The Gem Crab is simple, very AFK, and it's a social activity. But there are better methods out there. For starters, you could start with leveling your melee via the Slayer skill. This will slow your melee training down by a lot, but it is more efficient to train 2 skills at the same time. Furthermore, a lot of content is locked behind Slayer levels. Important quests, such as Desert Treasure to unlock the Ancient Spellbook, Animal Magnetism to unlock the Ava's Accumulator, Slug Menace for Prayer Gear, Tarnrazar Lore for the Self Amulet, and Perilous Moons, so you can take on the Moons of Peril bosses, which is a fun mid-game moneymaker for mains, and drops the best mid-game gear for Ions. Speaking of Irons, restricted accounts absolutely should train their Slayer, as a lot of essential gear is locked behind the Slayer skill. Training Slayer is really slow in the early game, but is heavily rewarded in the late game. Slayer exclusive bosses such as Araxor can provide really good melee experience and profits up to 5 mil per hour. A lot of Slayer monsters can be AFK'd in prayer gear. You can find many of them inside the Catacombs of Corinth, which is a multi-combat area. This allows you to attack multiple monsters at once. and then just AFK them with Protect from Melee. You can even bring Goading Potions, which turns monsters aggressive against you for 5 minutes per sip. Don't forget to wear a Black Mask or Slayer Helm for a 16.6% attack and strength boost while training Slayer. If your ultimate goal is to get into PvM, Scurrius the Rat King will be a really good training spot for you. This mid-game boss is a step up from Brutus, and just like the early game cowboss, you receive bonus experience for fighting him. Additionally, when you equip a bone mace, this will add plus 10 damage to your max hit, so you are guaranteed to get some of the best melee XP in the game here. While fighting Scurrius, you have to dodge obstacles and pray against his attacks. He attacks with all 3 combat styles, so having level 43 prayer is highly recommended. Scurrius can be found inside the Varrock sewers. Just enter the manhole northeast of Varrock Square and then run east to his lair. You can then choose between a normal or private instance. The private instance is better for learning as the boss has lower hit points and is less punishing, but you only get a 20% XP boost in this version. Once you are comfortable fighting Scurrius, you should fight the normal variant instead for a 42.5% XP bonus. For your gear, Void is best in slot, but if you don't have that, you can just bring your best melee gear. The best weapon is the Bone Mace, but this requires you to combine a Scurrius Spine with a Rune Mace. The Spine is a 1 in 33 drop from Scurrius, so before you obtain this, you can bring your best weapon, such as a Whip, Sarachnis Cudgel, Dragon Scimitar, or Rune Scimitar in that order. Your inventory should contain a special attack weapon such as a Dragon Dagger, super strength, attack and defense to boost your melee stats, some prayer potions to keep your prayer up, and some high healing food such as Karambwans. Also bring runes for the high alchemy spell and teleports to Varrock for banking. If you're tired of the gem crap, but you still want a solid AFK training method, look no further than the Nightmare Zone. Here you can get better XP rates than the gem crap, and it's even possible to AFK for up to 20 minutes, which is double the AFK time of the gem crap. However, the Nightmare Zone requires you to pay for each session, which does add up over time. And there are quest requirements as well. But on the flip side, you will earn reward points that you can use to imbue your gear, such as your Berserker Ring and your Slayer Helm. So if you still need to imbue those items, the Nightmare Zone is a really good place for it, since you won't have to step away from melee training to do so. The way it works is you basically pay a guy to set up a dream for you in which you fight bosses from quests you have previously completed. Thanks to damage absorbing potions, which are exclusive to the Nightmare Zone, you can stay inside this dream for a really long time. There are also stat boosting potions called overloads that boost your stats for 5 minutes. There are 2 ways to AFK in this activity. You can do a 5-minute AFK, in which you use overloads to boost your stats and get really good XP and points per hour. Or you can do a 20-minute AFK against low-level opponents. This is double the AFK time of the gem crab with similar XP rates. If you're interested in the Nightmare Zone, go check out my complete Nightmare Zone guide where I cover both these methods in depth. For those looking to level as quickly as possible, look no further than sulfurous Naguas. Here you can get better XP rates than the gem crab or the Nightmare Zone while still being somewhat AFK. Naguas have -4 flat armor, meaning you will deal 4 extra damage on each successful hit. So when you equip dual-handed weapons, you can deal up to 8 additional damage every time you attack. Furthermore, Naguas are located inside a Nepotli dungeon where you can make your own stat and prayer boosting potions for free. This allows you to boost your combat stats and even use offensive prayers to further increase your XP rates. The main downside is that your AFK time is determined by how quickly your prayer will drain, as you need to have Protect from Melee on at all times. So the higher your prayer level, and the better your prayer gear, the longer you can AFK here. I tested this with 70 prayer and full Blood Moon and compared it to a full proselyte set. In full Blood Moon, I received 4 minutes of AFK time with just Protect from Melee, and this went down to 1 minute and 20 seconds when I also activated the Piety Prayer to boost my melee stats. In prayer gear, I received 6 minutes of AFK time with just Protect from Melee, and this went down to 2 minutes when I also activated Piety. So for the best XP rates, wear full Blood Moon, but expect very little AFK time. and if you wear prayer gear, you can get close to the AFK time you would expect from the gem crab while still getting better XP rates. There are also some requirements to this method. First, you need to have completed Perilous Moons, which has a requirement of 48 Slayer. You will also need 43 Prayer to use Protect from Melee and at least 38 Herblore to make your own potions. But on the flip side, you can make over 200k profit per hour. So if you pick up all the loot, you can use full Blood Moon and still be profitable even while repairing your armor. Furthermore, you can make a passive 3 to 4k rune crafting XP per hour if you pick up these sulfurous essence they occasionally drop. Just bring them to Eitlali inside the dungeon for a nice XP drop. And if you bring an ectoplasmator inside, you can additionally gain 5k prayer XP per hour as well. So doing Naguas is really good experience and could result in a good source of money, rune crafting, and even prayer experience on your way to max combat. You can find the Naguas in the southwestern room of the Nepotli dungeon from the Perilous Moons quest. To make your potions, make your way through the room and exit via the northwestern door. Here you will find some grubby saplings, collect a full inventory of moonlight grub and return to the Nagua room. Then where you see the cooking icon, you can stop to make your potions. Right-click on the crate to get herblore supplies and grind up your grubby saplings into paste and then add them to the vials of water to create moonlight potions. Once you have a full inventory, you can make your way to the start of the room and start AFKing the Naguas. Make sure you have auto-retaliate on as well as protect from melee. After 10 minutes, the Naguas will stop being aggressive to you and you will have to reset your aggression. The NPC aggression timer plugin will show you exactly where you need to click to do so. I also have a complete Nagua guide on my channel if you need more info. Once you have 90 plus melee stats, you can get the best XP at Pest Control. Here you will gain experience for participating in the minigame, and you can use the reward points to get additional experience. The higher your melee stats, the more XP you get per reward point. Using the veteran boat, you will get 5 points per game, and based on which tier of the combat achievements you have completed, you will gain additional reward points. 1 for the easy tier, 2 for the medium, and 3 for the hard tier. So you can get up to 8 points per game, and in the Pest Control world, the games only take 2 minutes each with almost no time in between games. Furthermore, your stats reset after each game, so you can use Piety and bring a special attack weapon to further increase XP rates. I did this for a whole hour and was getting 65k base experience. At the end, I accumulated 216 points, meaning I completed 27 games in total. This resulted in a total of 191k XP in just 1 hour of Pest Control. The downside is that this is not AFK at all, and depending on when you are playing, there might not be enough players participating to get the necessary XP rates. So that's it for the melee training methods. I know a lot of you are just going to be doing the gem grab from 1 through 99, which is a totally valid and AFK way to get max combat. Those who want to go fast should be doing Brutus in the early game and then move on to Scurrius with a bone mace or Naguas with full blood moon in the mid game. And finally, at 90 plus, you will get the best XP rates at Pest Control. But if you want a well-rounded account, I would recommend you do a bunch of questing to skip the early levels and train your melee primarily via the Slayer skill. By the way, there's a written version of this guide on osrsguide.com. So if you need more info, or if you want something to throw on a second monitor as you progress your account, you'll find the link in the description. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!